a few things that I would like to see in Sims 5, and some of them might surprise you. Hey humans, how's it going? It's Shani Zade here, and honestly, would I even be considered a Sims content creator if I didn't make a what I would like to see in the Sims 5 video? So here we are. First thing I want to chat about is open world. Now, I did play Sims 1, I did play Sims 2, I did play Sims 3, and of course I play Sims 4. And obviously Sims 3 had the open world, completely seamless. You could be at the library while someone else was at school, while someone else was at the park, while someone else was at the beach. Amazing, fantastic, rad, that's amazing. I don't want that in Sims 5. Shocking, I know. But here's what I would like instead. So this is a world, and these are neighborhoods, right? So if this was Sims 3, I could click anywhere and I could load anywhere. If I was at the Delgado residence, I could also be at the Club Calico, right? Like I could be everywhere and then some, and I could have someone at the lighthouse, I could have someone at the docks. Whatever the case is, I could also make sure that someone is getting their homework done while they're at home, right? I don't want that in Sims 5. That is Sims 3 vibes. I wouldn't want that. So if this is one world, you know what I would like? I would like the neighborhoods to be open world. So don't give me an open world and make it completely like heavy on the PC, heavy on the consoles, whatever the case is, like very labor intensive, because we all know that Sims 3 was like historically very unstable for various reasons. I would like to see seamless open neighborhoods though. What I say when I mean that, if we have Cavalier Cove, right? I would like to be able to be at the Delgado residence, but then also walk across the road and then go visit my neighbors without needing to go to a loading screen. Or if I'm downtown, if I'm wherever this is, and I'm at the lounge, I would also just like to pop over to the bar without a loading screen. So I would like to load into the neighborhood and have the neighborhood be seamless, but I'm not too bothered about the world. Your immediate neighborhood and the immediate areas in those lots surrounding you, you can load into those, you can see what your neighbors are getting up to, you can see when they get home from work, you can see when they leave for school, all of those fun things, you can see when they have a fire, you can see when they're leaving for the hospital to go have a baby, whatever the case may be, you can see all of that while loaded into your neighborhood. But if you want to go to a different neighborhood, then you have a loading screen. I think that would be a great kind of middle way for Sims 4, where you literally go from here to there with a loading screen, versus Sims 3 where you had no loading screens ever. The second thing, as a console player, so Sims 4 was released in 2014, and then the console version of the game was released in 2017. Now that's a decent amount of time between the two release dates, right? Then over and above that, during the beginnings of the console version's life from 2017, a DLC would be released for PC, and then we would have a separate release date a couple of weeks later or a couple of months later for the console version. Eventually that managed to catch up, and now we have the same day release for both DLC on PC and on console, so I appreciate that. Am I expecting to see the same for Sims 5? Honestly, at this point, I really hope so. I don't want to add to rumor mill, I don't want to add too much speculation out there, but me personally, what I would like to see is I would like to see same day release for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Maybe even Nintendo Switch if they really want to go that far out and into the wilderness. So very much the same as how some games are Series S and Series X enhanced, there also needs to be a baseline for the older generation consoles so that they're not suffering with long loading screens, not suffering with gameplay lag, not suffering with crashes because their consoles physically can't keep up with what the Series S and the Series X and the PlayStation 5 can do, for example. I personally have felt on my Xbox, I have felt a massive difference between games that are clearly enhanced for the Series S and the Series X versus the games that aren't, and honestly, makes a world of difference for those of us who do have the newer generations of console. Honorary mentions I would like to see in Sims 5 before we jump into the final topic of my what I would like to see in Sims 5 video. Babies to not be objects. Vehicles would be amazing. That would be great. That would be fantastic. And also, actually, I know historically across all of the Sims games, I know Seasons has always been an expansion pack. Fine, go ahead. Do that. Bring Weather in a separate DLC, whatever the case is. EA is going to EA all over the place. Fine. keep your DLCs to yourself and add weather and add pets and add animals and add all of the different things and add extra generational things in different expansion packs, whatever. What I would like to see as an honorary mention is the fact that we can have be able to set up holidays, so that even though we might not necessarily have weather, the idea of having a prank day and a neighborhood brawl day and a harvest fest, a winter fest, etc., I would like that to be in base game. The weather and all of that other nonsense can come afterwards in a DLC if you really want to. Obviously, I would like more to be in base game. Sure, fine. But I would like to see, I would definitely like to be able to see event planning to the degree of, hey, it's the lottery. And so very much the calendar from Sims 4 Seasons, I would like implemented into base game for Sims 5. So with those honorary mentions out of the way, let's chat about Sims 5 multiplayer. Now, I know there's a lot of talk and speculation about multiplayer, that they're going to be moving the multiplayer route and all of that. Here's my 2 cents, and I've said this on my streams multiple times. It needs to be opt-in so I can still play my Sims offline as I've always played to its greatest of ability in my little save files, whatever the case is. Let me be my best self in my Sims on my own. Then there needs to be a separate channel for an entirely different entity with it's the same game in terms of the same engine and everything, but I would very much like to be an opt-in option, so if someone never wants to play multiplayer in their life, they don't accidentally stumble into a multiplayer server, right? So I would very much like them to be 2 very separate entities of playing offline, very much like how you would play a campaign in COD or whatever the case is. Your offline world, amazing, fantastic, and then you have multiplayer, which is an entirely separate menu system, whatever. Still within the same game, still the same controls, whatever the case is, and then like very much with the gallery, you can bring Sims in and download them and add them to the world, someone that you brought from offline, or a Sim that you brought from multiplayer, again, download into your offline world, whatever the case is. It's the same with Minecraft, like on the server versus creative, like those types of things would be really great. However, more importantly than just opting into multiplayer and not forcing multiplayer down people's throats as Sims players, safety is the biggest thing for me. Safety, online safety is the very, very, very biggest thing for me in terms of Sims. Sims is rated T for teen. It does have a lot of mature subject matter. It's got some innuendo. You can woohoo for fuck's sake. Like, can we just discuss this? Multiplayer needs to be kept as safe as possible. Sure, maybe opt into servers or whatever the case is, but you need to accept those T's and C's. But very much the same way as how Minecraft realms work in terms of if I want to play with my friends, I get invited to a realm. That's amazing. You have to know the people, those types of things. Keep players and their player base safe and in a very closed circuit of multiplayer. So I can imagine how cool that would be if you log on and someone's clearly been grafting the entire weekend and they've built their house and they've like carried on and they've got all of their career advancements or whatever the case is, and you're just chugging along because you just play every now and again, and you can go visit, you can have tea in real life but also in the Sims kind of really metaverse type vibes. But I would very much like to see, should multiplayer be a thing, safety should be of top priority because Sims is rated T for teen. And there are a lot of mature subject pieces within the Sims that I can imagine can get mistreated and used and abused in very, very horrible ways. Because there are very terrible people on the internet. So that immediately when they started chatting about Sims 5 multiplayer, I was just like, that's what's funny with me. I'm happy to play with my friends in a very closed multiplayer world where each of us buy property and whatever the case is, like a big version of Monopoly essentially, but also safety. Do you have any strong feelings towards multiplayer? Do you have any strong specifics that you would like to see in Sims 5, not see in Sims 5? Do you even want there to be a Sims 5, or do you just want them to overhaul the Sims 4 again and again and again and again? So let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, even if you disagree with someone else, please just be nice, because honestly, we all human differently at the end of the day, and we all do have our own opinions, which we are entirely valid and allowed to have, as long as you're a decent human being. But anyways, that's going to be the video. I hope you did enjoy. As always, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here. Remember that we all human differently, and I'll see you humans again soon. Dag dag.